Hey guys, welcome back to Canon Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX ND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't believe it's over. After 6 weeks, it's over. I don't think I've ever been this happy watching a television show in my life. Yes, there were ups and downs. There were major issues with the series. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but it really just touched my heart. And these characters, they mean so much to me, especially Sam and Bucky. And I'm really happy with the way things ended. And I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. Also, I will be doing a ranking of the episodes in this video since we are wrapping things up. So first and foremost, we have to talk about Sam Wilson. We have to talk about Sam Wilson. Guess why, guys? Because he's our new Captain America. He's our new Captain America. I'm just so happy. I won't lie to you. I cried from beginning to end in this episode. I kept crying every single time I watched it. And it is just a beautiful thing that happened. So to kick off the episode, we head into the GRC meeting in New York City. Everyone's there. We have the Flag Smashers. We have the Power Broker, which is Sharon Carter. We'll get into that. Trust me. John Walker shows up, but the most important person that shows up is Sam Wilson in his new Captain America fit. His suit, he looks amazing. And it's very comic book accurate. The one peeve I do have, and I brought it up on Movie Files Live, on Mama's Geeky's channel, and on Zack Goller's channel. I've been talking about this show the entire weekend. So the thing is that his neck piece, the white leather here, it doesn't work, or else the entire suit is comic book accurate. The wings, his wings, guys, his vibranium wings look absolutely stunning. Amazing. He looks fantastic. And what I loved about this opening is that here's the difference between like Scarlet Witch and her reveal of her costume and then Sam Wilson's reveal of his costume as Captain America. It's the fact that with Wanda, she's just using her hands majority of the time to like throw spells around. So that reveal was very simple. She was just like floating down, and it was a very like subtle reveal. Whereas with Sam, he has to go straight into action. So it made sense to kind of reveal his suit that way, and then you can play around with what he needs to do in fighting situations. So I thought that was really cool. The only issues I have, and I spoke about this all weekend, and everyone raised such amazing points, is the fact that Sam's fighting style needs to be polished a bit more, because Batroc, the Leaper, was about to pummel him again. So they need to do something. They need to do something to help out Sam and like maybe give him better choreography in future films, which we are getting a Captain America 4. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, like just his fighting style needs to be polished a bit more. The wing action is awesome. Red Wing is back too with like mini red wings. He has his little thrusters. So I was just really happy about his suit. It just, oh my God, I couldn't stop crying seeing him in action. And to be fair, the first time I watched this through, like I couldn't focus on anything else happening in this show just because I was so concentrated on seeing Sam Wilson, on seeing Mackie in the suit, and just him being Captain America. Like, why wouldn't I focus on that for the very first time? So I thought it was a very strong reveal, seeing his suit in action right off the bat. And you know what? Sam Wilson sure knows how to make a damn entrance with those wings, for sure. Breaking through that glass, throwing the shield, catching it midair. Like, I love it. And there's so much that Sam can do with the tech, with, you know, the wings, with red wings as a plural because of his 2 baby red wings. There's so much, and he has a little placeholder for the shield on his back. So fun. I love that. Very, you know, he's not going to lose it. Again, with Carly, nothing. It did nothing for me. And it just upset me that I couldn't get into, you know, the Flag Smashers. It was just a very low point throughout the entire series. I think they just could have gotten rid of all of them and kind of kept Carly, or like literally just cut the entire thing. Like it didn't work. You already had John Walker. You had Sharon Carter as the Power Broker. You had that already. And you had Baron Zemo. Like it just, They were unnecessary, and I think a lot of the missteps were with them because all of their scenes could have been like used for other characters and kind of add that depth, add some flashbacks, add, you know, more character interactions that would have worked out a bit better to make this flow as a series a bit more. So episode 6 did have low points, but for Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, I think they really just tied everything up for both of them. And those are the only characters I actually care about at the end of the day. And I know a lot of people do too. That's why I felt like it was a strong finale just for the two of them, to be perfectly honest. But everyone else is just, yikes. They did not write them properly. John Walker was all over the place in this episode. The reveal of Sharon Carter as the power broker, I am going to get into it right now. I just did not care for it. I don't like it. And it was way too on the nose. We called that in episode 3. Why? Because it was titled The Power Broker. And guess who shows up? Sharon freaking Carter. This is nothing against Emily Van Camp. She did a great job. She was kicking ass in episode 3. I was happy. I'm like, are they finally going to give her something to do? Not this. We did not want this. I did not want this. I don't like this decision for her to be the power broker, simply because her aunt is literally Peggy Carter, the founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. She is rolling in her grave right now because of how they wrote her niece, Sharon Carter. How do you do this to someone who's supposed to be Agent 13 in the comics, in Captain America's world? Yes, I understand there is a run where she kills Cap and she's brainwashed and yada, yada, yada. This is not the same kind of storyline. I don't know what you're trying to spin here. I don't get it. And honest to God, this doesn't make her character any more interesting. If anything, this pisses me off and like, I don't even want to see her again. Again, no offense to Emily Van Camp whatsoever. The writing for Sharon Carter has never been strong. Don't understand why you're trying to make her into something she's not. So I just hated the fact that Sharon Carter was the one who killed Carly. Spoilers. Surprise, it's Tuesday. But I can't stand that. I cannot stand the fact that she was the one that killed Carly. Personally, I think that John Walker should have killed Carly. It would have made the most sense. I don't know why they tried to make him good in the middle of this episode, only to make him US agent with Madam Hydra at the end of this episode. I just did not get it. It didn't flow. It felt very out of character. But I did laugh when he brought the DIY shield and like with one punch, the metal was like busted. And it was hilarious because I'm like, oh, you built all that. Oh, it's funny. It's cute. It's not going to save you, bro. Like, it's just not going to happen. So that was the funniest part for me. Him attempting to come back and fight. But I do think that it was a misstep that he did not kill Carly just because it was all over the place. It doesn't make any sense, like, in the storyline whatsoever. He comes back, has that conversation with Carly. She says that Battlestar doesn't matter, his life doesn't matter to her cause, blah, 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 blah. And then John's obviously pissed off. Shit, I'd be pissed off. Why wouldn't he actually kill the person that killed his best friend? Like, I don't get it. He's all of a sudden good now. And what also kind of annoyed me is the fact that like Bucky ended up working with John, and they had a couple of lines where like it was buddy buddy, and I'm just like, Bucky literally tried to beat the shit out of him for that shield in the previous episode, and now you're like best friends and joking around. Like, I just didn't appreciate that whatsoever. Again, only for John to go talk to Madam Hydra and change into US agent, it just didn't make any sense. There was no flow to his character. So that's John Walker, that's the power broker. Carly, I don't even want to talk about because her death also did nothing for me. Kind of pushed Sam forward, and we got that very, very moving speech. And I understand why people didn't really care for the speech. It felt out of place. I understand. Again, with what I'm looking at, what we got, we can always say there should have been 10 episodes. There should have been, you know, like better writing for certain pieces of dialogue, or like that should have been placed somewhere else. And we had no time. We can go on and say that like this should have been a movie. I'm guilty of that because I did want it to be a movie, but it's just the fact that like we had no time. So I'm criticizing this based off of what we did in 6 episodes. It's what it is. It's what it is. Did I cry? Yeah, I did, because he felt like Captain America to me in that moment. But the difference between Sam Cap versus Steve Cap is that Sam Cap is taking it head on. He's very straightforward. He's talking to these senators, and it's more of like boots on the ground, like, this is what I'm looking at. I'm fighting for the people, and I'm going to tell you straight up what's happening, what's wrong, how do we fix this, and that he's going to work with them. We'll see in the future if, like, moving forward, what we can do to better our country, to better our cities. He wants to do that. And I think that is the way that Sam Wilson's going to lead, because it's on him. He's choosing how to function as Captain America, and he's not really leaning towards the government. He's leaning more towards the people. I'm not saying that Steve didn't do that, but it's a very different approach to leading as Captain America. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in Captain America 4. I did think that his arc was perfect, even if you go from the Winter Soldier until now. That's just the way I'm feeling about Sam as a whole. I thought his character arc was brilliant. The writing, again, could have been better. He was sidelined in episode 3. That's the only thing that I didn't appreciate, because it is his story. But yeah, for Sam Wilson, I loved it. He feels like Captain America. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm really excited for Anthony Mackie and everything that he has coming. I'm so excited for him, and he just seems so happy, and I'm really happy that we get to see him happy about being Captain America and diving into this world in Phase 4. Next, I'm going to talk about our boy Buck. Our boy Bucky Barnes also had great character development. And I was worried in episode 6 that his arc was going to finish and that they might have killed him. And I'm really happy that they didn't. So Bucky Barnes has a very traumatic past. He has never been able to just be Bucky. And I think that this show has made him throw away the Winter Soldier mentality, all that trauma. He was able to have closure in this episode, crossed every single name out of his book, and he returned it to the therapist. And people are questioning it, like, but why does it still say, like, Captain America and the Winter Soldier? And for me, it's like, there was a time in the comics where Bucky Barnes was just the Winter Soldier, and he was still Bucky, but he was the Winter Soldier, and he wasn't brainwashed, and he wasn't, evil and killing people under Hydra. There was a time where he was just Bucky as the Winter Soldier with Sam and Steve. So I don't mind it still being the Winter Soldier. I really don't, because Bucky, the most important thing is that Bucky has found himself, his own identity, and he's going to bask in the fact that he is Bucky Barnes for right now and live peacefully, comfortably as Bucky Barnes. So I think that's the most important thing that we can take away from this. Moving forward, he can change the perception of who the Winter Soldier is. It's ultimately up to him. So I don't mind him still being called the Winter Soldier, but also, like, I love that Bucky was just so proud of Sam. Those moments where he's just like looking up at him when Sam was like lifting up that car, that truck with all of his thrusters going, and he was trying to save the people. I thought that was such a great heroic moment. It's a superhero moment for Sam. And then Bucky also had a superhero moment. Let's not forget that. People thanked him as, he helped them out of the van and made them escape from like the fire that was obviously going. And he said, "You're welcome." He's like, shit, like, someone thanked me for saving them. Like, that's superhero stuff. That's superhero stuff. And I was really happy about that for Buck. I always say wherever there's a Captain America, there's going to be a Bucky Barnes. So don't count him out yet. He ain't leaving. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay with Sam 100%. Duh, he went to Louisiana for him for the cookout. Like, that's just, yes, like, locked and loaded, comfortable family. He found his family. And I'm really happy for Bucky. He came in like the cool uncle who, like, probably he was late with that cake. Who knows? That's going to be Buck from now on. But I'm really happy that they're together. Their friendship is stronger than ever. I really enjoyed this finale for what it was. Were there issues? 100%. But I'm just like blocking that out because there was more good than bad. And it's just very personal to me, this show. I love the characters so much, as I said before. And at the end of the day, it comes down to preference. It comes down to preference, and I'm really looking forward to Captain America 4. I want to know all about it. I know it's not going to come out now or anytime in the near future, but I'm just very excited. The merchandise came out too for Sam Wilson, Captain America. They switched all the social handles, and now Now it says on your left on the Captain America Twitter. So I was just beaming. I'm just so happy about it. Well, that's my review of the finale for episode 6. Now I'm gonna move into my rankings. It's gonna be really quick. I still think that episode 5, Truth, was one of the best episodes of television that I have seen this year. It was absolutely fantastic. Great conversations, very emotional, intimate. You're diving into backstories with Isaiah Bradley and Sam Wilson. And it's all about legacy and what it means, you know, to be a representation of your legacy. And I thought it was really great to see that. So episode 5 is probably my favorite, and it would be 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. That is how I would rank my episodes. As a whole, I would give the series at least a 7.58 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and I know that the 7.58 out of 10 is because of the Flag Smashers, Carly, the power broker, the execution with certain scenes and certain episodes. The writing kind of fell apart in certain moments, but as a whole, I had a blast watching this, waking up at 3 a.m. every single Friday over at Geekly Goods doing the live reaction. It was just amazing, and I could talk about the show for days and days and days. I absolutely loved it. And a huge shout out to Anthony Mackie, our Captain America. Sir, I am so excited to see what you have in store for us. Fingers crossed for a trilogy. I need more. I want more. Everyone wants more. And I'm just so very excited for Anthony Mackie. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to talk about all things Marvel, DC, new TV shows coming out, movies coming out, you can always find me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Come on in and join the conversation, guys. I'll catch you next time. Keep watching movies.